민수기 33장, Numbers chapter 33. Here are the strategy stages in the journey of the Israelites when they came out of Egypt by divisions under the leaderships of Moses and Aaron. At the Lord's command, Moses recorded the stages in the journey. This is the journey by the stage. The Israelites set out from Ramesses on the 15th days of the first month, the day after the Passovers. They marched out boldly in the full view of all the Egyptians who were bearing all their firstborn who the Lord had struck down among them. For the Lord had brought judgment on the gods. The Israelites left Ramses and camped at Succoth. They left the Succoth and kept at times on the edges of the desert. They left at times turned back to Pi Harirot, to the east of Baal Japons, and camped near Migdal. They left Pi Harirot and passed through the sea into the desert, and when they had traveled for 3 days in the desert of Etam, they camped at Marah. They left Moraz and went to the Elims, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They left Elims and camped by the Red Sea. They left the Red Sea and camped in the desert of Sin. They left the desert of Sin and camped at Dokka. They left Dokka and camped at Alash. They left Alash and camped at Rapadim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They left Rapadim and camped in the desert of Sinai. They left the desert of Sinai and camped at Kibros Hatava. They left Kibros Hatava and camped at Hazerat. They left Hazeroth and camped at Ramoth. They left Ramoth and camped at Ramoth Peretz. They left Ramoth Peretz and camped at Ribnah. They left Ribnah and camped at Rishah. They left Rishah and camped at Claudia. They left Claudius and camped at Mountain Shefer. They left Mountain Shefer and camped at Hanarah. They left the Hadaraz and camped at Makelot. They left Makelot and camped at Tatha. They left Taha and camped at Tara. They left Tara and they camped at Micha. They left Micha and camped at Hamona. They left Hamona and camped at Moserot. They left Moserot and camped at Ben Jakan. They left Ben Jakan and camped at Hor's Haggidah. They left Jordan and camped at Habrot. They left Habrot and camped at Elizar. They left Elizar Geber and camped at Kadesh in the desert of the Jinn. They left Kadesh and camped at Monahor on the border of the Edoms at the Lord's command, where he died on the first days of the fifth month of the 40 years after the Israelites came out of Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on the mountain Hor. The Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev of Canaanite. Heard that the Israelites were coming. They left Mountain Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They left Zalmonah and camped at Punon. They left Punon and camped at Oboth. they left both and camped at Abarim on the borders of Moab. So they left Leim and camped at Dibon Gad. They left Dibon Gad and camped at Almon Diblachaim. They left Almon Diblachaim and camped in the mountains of Abarim near Nebo. They left the mountains of Abarim and camped on the plains of Moab by the Jordan's cross from the Jericho's. There on the plains of Moab, they camped along the Jordans from Benet Jashmos to the Aber Jashim. On the plains of Moab by the Jordan cross from the Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and said to them, when you cross the Jordan into the Canaanite, drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, destroy all their carved images and their cast idols, and demolish all their high places. Take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to the possessors. Distribute the land by lot, according to your tribe, the land by lot, according to your clans. To a large group, give a large inheritance, and to the smaller group, a smaller one. So whatever falls to them by lot will be theirs. Tribe distributed according to your ancestral tribes. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, those who you allow to remain will come barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will give you a trouble in the land where you will live, and I will do to you and what I plan to do them.